Having reincarnated through countless game worlds and traveled through years, this time I came to the world of Tivat. Here, my identity is a traveler, you can call me Kong. But just as Kong was planning to fully integrate into this world, the previous life exposure system suddenly descended upon this world. The world that travelers once visited has also been sparsely exposed. First generation, commander of the ship MotherWelcome back to port, CommanderNoel. You can lift a ship weighing tens of thousands of tons with just one hand. Can you tell me that your strength is not as strong as mine? Funina. Because the witch was unable to protect herself in the world of the Dharma Ring, even in a state of corruption and madness, it doesn't matter. Naxida. As a sensei, I have to give everything for my students. Ying. Wait, brother. First, tell me how many wives do you have outside? Empty. You will remember how many you have eatenFeilu novel network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. You said that the pioneer of the world of broken iron was me. You are listening at novel full.audio. Traveler, are you serious about saying you've been to many places before? Of course it's true, is it difficult? Will I still lie to you? Through the reflection on the beach, the traveler also saw clearly his blonde teenage appearance. It seems that I should have passed through the elder brother of the blonde twins in Genshin Impact. Looking at the relatively quiet sea in front of me, Kong also thought of the worlds he had been to before. In terms of setting, the blonde Gemini has traveled to many worlds and star regions. However, for him who has traveled through time, it is not a journey, but a memory that truly belongs to his past and past life. That version of memory, even if it's natural, cannot be sealed off, and it will never be worn away by time. Looking back, it can be said that time flies like a shuttle. Nowadays, this traveler's identity should also be considered a very leisurely one. Even if it's possible to go somewhere and have an accident, most of the time is probably quite leisurely. Even when speaking, most of the time you don't have to say it yourself. The flying elf next to you, Pemon, will automatically translate everything for you. And while thinking this in the air, the flying pet Pemon next to him also spoke up and asked. Hey, traveler, I have some doubts when you talk about that. Previously, when you and your sister traveled to other worlds, they both entered as travelers. Or rather, as someone who truly belongs to a certain world, participate in it. Is this? Kong laughed but remained silent about this. The world I have traveled before is a memory of my past life. So naturally, I participated as someone who truly integrated into other worlds. I am a traveler in this world in this life, so naturally I have my own identities in my past life. However, these things are not intended to be discussed entirely, as it takes too much time. Pai Meng, who was standing beside him, also looked at Kong with a skeptical gaze, but he was still fully prepared to do his job as a guide and smiled. Okay traveler, surprisingly, you have already gained the power of the wind element. So now we're ready to go to our first city, Mond, and take a look. Okay. Kong nodded, but in that moment, a heavy sense of oppression also came from the sky. The rumbling sound began to resound throughout the world, and such a commotion was enough to be heard by everyone in this world. The sky of Tivat seemed to crack at this moment. And then, appearing in the sky, were huge sky curtains, and voices were also heard in the sky. The exposure system of the past life has descended. Starting to extract. The object of this extraction is the child of the world's fortune. The system will expose unknown stories happening around the son of Qi Yun on the entire Tivat continent, the person who was exposed in his past life. Traveler from the Tivat continent, brother of the Starry twins, and son of the Tivat continent's fortune, Sky. The extraordinary chat group has been opened, and all extraordinary people from the Tivat continent can join the extraordinary chat group. In the huge sky, there also appeared the figure of a blonde boy. As they watched the appearance of this figure, everyone who had just joined the extraordinary chat group was also stunned. His Highness the Abyss. Ying Mei. Wait, brother. How could it be you? Lynette. Isn't this extraordinary chat group and exposure system really magic? Xianyun. I think even if I were to perform some magic, I wouldn't be able to achieve this level. Neville Wright. The sky's canopy is filled with unimaginable power. Was this created by that deity? Zhongli. I have never heard of this called past life exposure system. Is it difficult? Is this also related to this soon-to-be exposed son of luck? Funina. By the way, what is the son of Qi Yun? Xingqiu. Well, from a novel perspective, the son of Qi Yun is the protagonist of a world, where everything that should exist seems to unfold and revolve around this son of Qi Yun. Naxida. I envy you so much. Amber. Wait, I just saw him walking out of the forest. So, is he the son of our Tivat continent's luck? Qin. That means, Amber, you are about to come into contact with this son of luck. Remember to be cautious and careful. Empty. But only people in this whole world have just seen what this person looks like, and there is also a voice coming from the sky. Warning, due to the complexity of the person's past and future lives exposed in this system. To clarify the causal cycle, the collapse will be brought into the exposure system of the Star Dome Railway world, reason for dispute. The next generation identity of the golden-headed traveler Kong is the son of Qi Yun in the Broken Iron world, named Pioneer. The bullet screen system has been added and people from the world of Shattered Iron have been added to extraordinary chat groups. The exposure system will start playing in 3 minutes. As soon as this news came out, everyone in both worlds also instantly became confused. Fu Xian. Wait a moment. What does this person mean? He is the son of our railway world's luck, and he is also from the next generation. Kafka. So, this young man named Kong will become the son of our universe's luck in the next life. It's really interesting. March 7th. Are people from another world also in the chat group? It's so lively, hee. Hello, are you guys getting on the train? GZ. Don't just drag people onto the train. If you're the son of Qi Yun, you can consider it. At this moment, different worlds, the same confusion. During these 3 minutes, everyone in both worlds became curious because of the previous life exposure system that appeared. P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 2. Extraordinary Chat Group, Inventory of Previous Lives with. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Firstly, the son of Qi Luck. With a little understanding, one can understand what the son of Qi Luck in the entire world means. In addition, this son of fortune in the Genshin Impact world, and the next life is the son of fortune in the Iron Crushing world, which immediately made everyone in both worlds start to pay attention to tourists. Sure enough, there are not only us in this world, but also other worlds. I didn't expect us to have a chance to learn about it. This son of luck is so young and handsome, and his appearance is also outstanding. After all, the son of luck, it's normal to have some differences. Surprisingly, he is the son of luck. Is this person's luck particularly good? Will it become very easy for me to win the lottery with this person in the future? I think you have a misconception. These are all exchanges between ordinary people from 2 worlds. Most people are paying attention to the traveler's already outstanding appearance and existence as the son of luck. In the extraordinary chat room, people with extraordinary abilities are already chatting with each other and becoming familiar with their relationships. Fireworks. Hello everyone from another world, are you interested in joining the Joyful God cult? Walnut. No, are you interested in learning about the business of the Shisheng Hall? The second tablet is half price. Xiaoyu. Why do you feel like these two people would be very noisy if they were together? Is it my illusion? Qin Ke. Does anyone know how to play cards on the continent of Tivat? I mean, it's best to have some gambling like card games. Sano. Is the summoning of the seven saints okay? Blonia Silver Wolf. In the new world, there shouldn't be any traffic laws, right? Can I just drive at will without worrying about my driver's license being revoked? Amber. Although my driver's license will not be revoked, I should have a flight license. By the way, I have also had my flight license revoked many times due to improper use of the wind wing. Qin. It was me who did it. Please don't fly around in the city, extraordinary people. Black Tower. Okay, as long as this woman doesn't succeed. Ruan Mei. Do you have any technology related to and researching the creation of life on the Tivat continent? Can you share it? From the perspective of the God of Wisdom, I always feel that the methods of creating life are some forbidden techniques. Ying. Brother, first of all, tell me why you have become the son of Qi Yun and triggered the arrival of this past life inventory system. Is this what you have created? Zhongli. In terms of universal rationality, the emergence of this past life inventory system is indeed inseparable from the son of Qi Yun. Parman. Yes, traveler, I want to know if this matter has anything to do with you. Wendy. Hey, old man, why are you in an extraordinary chat room? Aren't you an ordinary person? Raksha. Sometimes as an ordinary businessman, that's not bad either. Lay Movie. I'm so annoyed, why can't I just cut through this extraordinary chat group with one blow? Under the Mingshan Island, inside the Tianshou Pavilion. At this moment, Lay Movie also held on to his dream and fiercely slashed at the scene. But when the knife that could tear apart all the space fell on the canopy, it was unharmed. For this creation that disrupts her mood and destroys her eternity, Lay Movies did not show any courtesy. It's okay, it can't be destroyed. Let's take a look first. Wait until the traveler arrives, and then strike him. After thinking about it this way, Lay Movie simply continued to sit in the Tianshou Pavilion, watching the content on the rooftop. Thinking about whether to cut off Inami when the traveler arrives in the future. In other worlds of the Tivat continent, other ruling gods also assumed a solemn attitude. Especially at this moment, the wind god Wendy, who was closest to the empty position, also quietly hid in the branches of the Mond forest after avoiding the wind demon dragon Tevlin, observing the blonde boy in the distance in the shadow. Zhongli in the Liyue tea house also put down his teacup and looked thoughtfully at the sky. In Sumi, Naxida, who was staying inside the Jingshan palace, looked at the ceiling of the palace in confusion. Even if imprisoned, she could still see the outside world clearly. Funina appeared to be not too worried, as long as this thing had nothing to do with Fengdan's prophecy of annihilation, then it was not a big problem. Relatively speaking, within the world of iron collapse. Whether it's the people on the Star Dome train or the people on the Luofu immortal boat, they are relatively more receptive to the inverted sky curtain in the sky. After all, the level of the technology tree in the world of collapse iron is still higher. At least it can be considered a barely acceptable way to transmit intelligence and information to the world in a domineering manner. However, this does not prevent them from being filled with various interests in the content that will be played in the sky. March 7th is also a bouncing inquiry from Dan Hengdao not far away. Have you checked the think tank and found any information related to this person? Dan Heng shook his head and said. It can't be considered as a complete search, because during the process of searching, the guidance sign for this son of luck always inexplicably points to someone who likes to flip through the trash can. I'm thinking that he's actually the son of one world's luck, so he shouldn't be related to someone who's down and down to flipping through the trash can, so I think it's unlikely. Let's first take a look at what kind of person this son of luck is. Mature and steady GZ sat on the sofa and smiled, indicating that it was better to continue watching the play for now. As for the empty side, he shook his head helplessly. Pai Meng next to him was still asking questions in his ear like a curious baby, which made him very helpless. After all, when faced with such a sudden arrival of the inventory system, he couldn't help it either. Now it's better to study how to use the power of the wind element in hand appropriately. But soon, a system beep that only he could hear came from the empty ear. As the inventory system plays, the children of Qi Yun who are being counted and mentioned can receive additional rewards as gifts from this system, use and obtain skills and items from previous lives. P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 3 One of the Past Lives. Commander of the Ship Mother. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Empty. And this good thing. Then I, the traveler, won't be tired anymore. Isn't it just inventory? Although it may be a bit awkward, I have experienced so much reincarnation myself, and that is definitely something I can handle. After expressing no problem in the air, the 3 minutes of preparation time also quickly passed. In the sky, a new subtitle quickly came over. Attention everyone in the chat group, the inventory of past life exposure is starting. Exposed protagonist. Traveler. Expose past identity. Commander of the Blue Ship Mother. Related keywords. Sea, Ship Mother, Lord of the Rings. Go, guard it, for that blue sea. Why is the title of a ship always the sheath of a woman here? The strength of each punch is calculated in how many tons. Why do some aircraft carriers have unpredictable armor thickness, while others have almost no armor thickness? You don't have to worry about the magical ships. Commander, welcome back to the port area. As soon as this series of keywords emerged, many people in both worlds immediately fell into a clamor. Funina. Feng Dan, like stories like this. We are already a kingdom on the sea. Lisa. However, what the commander means is, the person who commands the army to fight. I didn't expect travelers to have such an identity before. March 7th. The sea, is it as boundless as the starry sea, Noel? Isn't the power system of a traveler's past life a bit exaggerated, counting a person's punch in tons? Clara. It's not even stronger than Mr. Swallow's strength, is it? Fu Xian, why is the title of a ship always referring to a woman as she? Shouldn't this refer to the same title as some homemakers? Is there any other meaning? Beidou. But what does an aircraft carrier mean? Is it also a type of ship? GZ. It seems that the technological level of the Tivat continent is inclined towards backwardness. So let me explain what an aircraft carrier is, but I really don't understand what a carrier is. Abyss. Ying. It's not because of backwardness. If it weren't for the war of 500 years, our current technology would have been. Forget it, let's not say it. Norvea. So, by scumbag, it doesn't necessarily mean some feminized ships, does it? Bailu. Boats are a means of transportation, can they still be considered feminine? People from the world of shattered iron are also popularizing what an aircraft carrier is. After all, many of them ride on a ferry boat, which itself is equivalent to a large spaceship. After the explanation of the people in the world of shattered iron was completed, the scene of the traveler's past life as the commander of the ship Mother began to play officially in the sky. The blue world is divided by sea after sea, and it is a world with over 71% of the world's sea area. In a garrison mansion, a young man wearing a white star costume also sat quietly on an office chair, silently processing the report in his hand. Beside the young man stood a white-haired girl dressed in maid attire, quietly watching the commander's office and occasionally playing with the ring on her finger. Wow, so handsome. Is this our son of luck? I thought the blonde boy's appearance was already handsome enough, but I didn't expect Kong.But to be even more handsome wearing a white commander's uniform. How come it looks like there's a maid's intimate attire next to it? How envious. But it looks like an ordinary man and a woman. What's the relationship between this and the ship's mother? The maid standing behind the commander's back also has a bit of high looks. It's impossible to say she's the ship's mother. The barrage area is also filled with various barrage contents sent by ordinary people from 2 worlds. Most people in the extraordinary chat group can control themselves not to be surprised, so they continue to watch the content of the Sky screenplay. After the commander in white finished some work, the maid next to him also thoughtfully offered a drink that looked like coffee. However, after taking a glance at the appearance of the drink, the commander decisively pushed it aside. Belfast. If you plan to play a prank on me like those destroyers and make me drink engine oil, your approach is somewhat inferior. Oh my, I was spotted by the commander. After hearing these words, the maid named Belfast immediately let out a teasing look and leaned close to the commander's back. The commander also showed a very helpless expression and said, "I remember you weren't such a maid in the past. In the team of royal maids, you were a very mature and steady person. That's not because it's difficult to grab the secretary position next to the commander. I finally got it. If I don't play a little trick on the commander, wouldn't it be boring?" As he spoke, Belfast also smiled and took the drink filled with mechanical fuel. I drank it straight away. After all, if the commander doesn't drink, then we can't waste it either. Charlotte. Ah. Drink the engine oil directly. Is this the mother of the ship? Pella. As a ship, it doesn't seem unreasonable to treat engine oil as a beverage like this. Blonia Silver Wolf. Black Tower, as a robot, can you drink engine oil directly? Black Tower. Believe it or not, I'm closing your over 70 game accounts in the dark room now. Chongyun. But who are the travelers over there? As a normal human, he seems to be just showing the picky behavior of a normal person when they see green peppers in the dishes when drinking engine oil. Isn't that right? Xiangling. No picky eaters. By the way, can engine oil really be made into something to eat and drink? Walnut. Quickly hold down Xiangling, don't let her make dark dishes. P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 4. How does this look when looking up at the starry sky? You are listening at novel full.audio. In the sky, the commander is also working with his maid secretary to handle various tasks. After another period of processing, Belfast also smiled. Commander, it's time for lunch now. Don't worry, this meal is for our royal maids team, and there will definitely be no destroyers causing trouble during this period. The commander pondered for a moment and said. There won't be anyone putting computer accessories, will there? Definitely not. That's good. Remembering the time when I went to eat at the port area of Chongying by myself, but when it comes to royal cuisine, it's still the food prepared by the maids, and the commander couldn't help but blush. Ah, I still miss the food from the Donghuang family even more. Sorry, Commander. Bifa and the other members of the maids team are working hard to learn cooking, and we will definitely satisfy you in the future. Watching Belfast blush and apologize, the commander naturally couldn't continue to argue. Then, quietly watching Belfast bring the lunch up. That dish can be said to be very unique, with some butter-filled fruit pies at the bottom. On the fruit pie, there are fish looking up at the sky. That's a plate, looking up at the starry sky. Faced with such a dish that could be said to be very low in SAN value, the commander also let out a long sigh and then ate it expressionlessly. Well, if you can tolerate this very low SAN value consolidation technique, the taste is actually quite good. Faced with this incredibly strange dish, people from both worlds immediately began to clamor. Oh my god, the food I drink is engine oil, and the food I eat is this strange, starry sky sect. It feels so difficult to be with the ship girl. Who said it? Being able to live with these beautiful women, these small difficulties are nothing. But have you noticed, whether it's this maid named Bifa or those maids from the maid team, why do they all have rings on their fingers? It's a bit like a wedding ring, but for someone else's mother.in.law, it could be equipment, anyway I don't know. And in the extraordinary chat room. After seeing the starry sky, brought out by Belfast, several people in the world of shattered iron inexplicably felt a shiver all over their bodies. Jeezy. Hiss. Why do I always feel like I've seen this thing somewhere before? Is this my illusion? Blonia Silver Wolf, I'm also under the illusion of hope. But I always feel like I've seen this thing before. Sierra. Not only have we seen it before, but I think we've probably eaten it before. Fireworks. I think this thing is more interesting as a funny food than a dish. Sangbo. I agree with this point. Even if this exposure system is not created by Happy Star God, it still has some attributes related to happy people. Xiangling. I find it hard to imagine a dish with fruits, noodles, and fried fish all together, and it can still create such an appetizing platter. Eightfold Divine Sun. This level of culinary skills can be compared to that of a general. Kamisato Ayaka. Ha! The general can't cook. Thunder Movie. Eightfold Divine Sun, are you looking for a split? Kuching. As a secretary, would Gan Yu's cooking skills be very poor? Xianyan. As a disciple of this immortal, it's natural to have access to both the hall and the kitchen. Unfortunately, my vision is a bit high, and I can't even hold on to my disciple's grandson now. If it's really not possible, you can go and join forces with the son of Qi Yun. Gan Yu. QAQ, Naxida. Hehe, daily life is so different. I don't know what kind of commotion our son of luck, this commander, will make when we actually start working. The chat room is also filled with various laughter and joy, as if only an injured world has been completed. However, Kong himself showed a nostalgic expression and did not say anything about it. The sea of a blue world is not always peaceful. Just as the commander had finished resting, an alarm sounded immediately after. A destroyer also immediately rushed into the office to report. Report to the commander that a small siren fleet has been found 10 nautical miles off the shore of the fleet headquarters. Please give instructions. Well, I see. Let the small fleet of the Enterprise leader, White Eagle, set out. Surprisingly, it's just a small group of troops. We need to be wary of the opponent's plan of only launching a counterattack, so we need to send a small number of elite troops to drive away and effectively attack the opponent, while the rest of the troops are responsible for maneuvering and guarding. Yes, Commander. As a secretary, Belfast was also immediately responsible for transmitting the commander's orders. On the harbor, a ship maiden holding a composite long bow and looking handsome stood quietly on the beach. When she saw Kong walking over, she also bowed. Commander, White Eagle Flagship Enterprise, waiting for dispatch. The destroyers and light cruisers escorting the company also waved to the commander one after another. Although they were about to go to the battlefield, each of them smiled when they saw Kong arrive at the scene. The commander also smiled and waved his hand, walking up to the side of the company and jokingly saying, Enterprise, it's been a long time since you personally went to the battlefield to lead the team. Your combat memory won't be unfamiliar with it, will it? The commander laughed. The company also played with its composite bow and smiled. I used to be able to confront the entire Sakura fleet alone, and fighting was something engraved in our bones. So, we will never forget our combat experience. Very good. Kong also waved his hand and said. Set sail, sail into the sea, set sail. Yes. After this empty command. Some girls were originally dressed in casual clothes, while others were dressed in military uniforms, revealing their ship outfits. Not only do they have aircraft-mounted armor, but they also have a series of naval gun armaments such as 380mm guns and Type 76 anti-aircraft guns. The emergence of that diverse set of equipment also instantly caused an uproar among the audience in the two worlds watching the live broadcast. P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 5. The favorite firepower coverage of the son of Chi Yun. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. I'm going, this is a naval gun. How do these people equip this kind of naval gun on their own bodies? Even if it can be installed, the powerful recoil should be enough to turn people into powder in one shot. If placed on our Tivat continent, even those who hold the eye of God may not be able to do such a thing. People's physical constitution cannot be generalized, perhaps this is the ship mother. Not only that, these people can directly surf at sea after summoning the ship's equipment. This feeling of sprinting at sea seems even better than the feeling of flying. Watching the ships gathered in the harbor under the sky, they also fully unfolded their ships and sprinted towards the sea. This is much faster than the speed of the real ruler who freezes and crosses the sea, isn't it? On the sea, a group of ship maidens who had deployed their ships also entered a complete combat form. After all, if you are still constantly wrapped in ship armor on the shore, you won't be able to enjoy the commander's embrace. Therefore, ship women only equip their ships when going out to sea for combat. On the road, they wear whatever they like by the commander's side. At full speed, they soon reached a close-range attack on the enemy ship. Report to the commander that we are ready. Enterprises also use remote communication to report the situation to their commanders. The availability of the consultation headquarters is also a matter of inquiry. Are there any negotiable intelligent sirens and siren objects that belong to the executor level? Report to commander, radar signal not detected. Then there's no need for extra reconnaissance, firepower covers all directions. Commander, you still like firepower coverage as always, but coincidentally, I also like it. During the years we've been infected by you, Commander, we've also enjoyed firepower coverage. Listening to the command sound from the radar communication side, the company also smiled. Subsequently, on the deck of the ship, all of its own carrier-based aircraft were also released, and torpedo bombers began to drop various types of torpedo bombs, launching bombings in the direction of the enemy fleet. All the accompanying destroyers, cruisers, and battleships also aimed their main guns in the direction of the siren ship and launched a dense and continuous bombing strike. For a moment, towering flames only illuminated the azure sea. Wherever an enemy ship is located, there is not a second without dropping a shell. In the face of the enemy who dares to step on their territory, there are only shells denser than rainstorm to answer the enemy. At the same time as the display of what is called fear of insufficient firepower in the sky, the people on the side of the canopy are also stunned. March 7th. It's so dazzling. Can we install so many cannons on our train? Walter. This is a bit difficult. Our train is not originally this type of combat weapon. March 7th. Is there anything bad? After all, ships are also means of transportation, and they are also equipped with so many naval guns. Black Tower. If you can make your train become an adult like the ship girls in that world over there, I'll help you install laser cannons. Kafka. The future son of Chi Yun likes to have firepower coverage, which is the first characteristic. Let's record it first. Parman. So, did the traveler have any fear of insufficient firepower in his past life? Beidou. It's really amazing. I never expected that the effect of naval artillery being equally famous would be so great. Ningguang, hurry up and allocate funds for me. I also want to build a navy. Ningguang. It's not impossible to allocate funds to build a navy for you, but I think we should know exactly how to build it. I think we can ask the son of Qi-yun on the Tivat continent when the time comes. Qianji. Aren't you Liyue a mainland country? Why are you so proactive in building a navy? Kuqing. Because we want to protect our maritime trade routes. Amber. Hehe, I've already talked to the traveler. Fortunately, I was the person closest to the traveler from the beginning. Kaya. Well done, remember to invite this son of luck to our monde as a guest. Amber. No problem, leave it to me. After agreeing like this, Amber also bounced up to Kong and warmly invited him to monde. And the content on the canopy is also continuing to be played. Various bombings lasted for 5 minutes. The company only took back its carrier-based aircraft after receiving orders from the commander. The accompanying battleship Arizona also reported, Enterprises, and Commander, the enemy has now been completely annihilated. There is no detected enemy radar signal on the sea surface. During the process, no sirens above the executor level were found accompanying the attack, so it seems like this is just a harassment fleet. The air remote command said, ensure that the enemy has been completely annihilated, then recover useful props and supplies and prepare to return. You've worked hard too. A light and easy battle, it's not really hard work. The commander's communication signal also contained the mischievous sounds of destroyer children. Kong also pretended to be serious and said, don't act recklessly during the battle, otherwise I will throw you to the Royal Arkansas. Don't, Commander. Don't even see that weird sister from the Royal Arkansas. That annoying Lolitan, expel her. Upon hearing the threatening sound, the several destroyer women on the communication end who like to cause trouble also immediately became calm. The flagship companies on the front line also smiled, but later through the recycling of materials, they also found some useful materials from the wreckage of the Siren fleet. Report to Commander, we have found several well-preserved mined Rubik's cubes on the Siren's ship. Now, can we add more sisters to the port area? P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 6. The True Work of the Son of Qi-yun, Shipbuilding. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Upon hearing the mind cube, Kong quickly became sharp and nodded. Well, when you get back to the port area, I will start building new ships. You can also have one more sisters of your own. Remember to return safely. Well, the commander is really a gentle person. We will come back safely. The Enterprise recycling materials on the front line also carried a square blue Rubik's Cube and returned to the port area all the way. However, after hearing the dialogue between the Magic Cube and Add Several Sisters, people in the chat room and the bullet screen area immediately became crazy and roast. Add a few more sisters. Could it be that the anthropomorphic ships in that world are all girls? And everyone is such a beautiful girl. Oh my goodness. Why is the term ship always used to refer to a woman when referring to a ship? Did she actually refer to a ship's mother? What kind of heavenly world did this son of luck fall into? The so-called son of luck does not mean that everyone around us is a girl. It seems so. Not only the people in the barrage area, but now even the extraordinary chat room can't ignore this matter. Abyss. Ingmei. Brother, come out and tell me that you were in the harbor area. In your past life, there were so many girls in the harbor area besides you. Isn't there no other man in the harbor area besides you? Empty. Not many, just over 600, and I remember that I am the only man in the entire port area. Kawi. How many? Over 600. Although I admit I'm not smart, I also know that the ratio of over 600 women to a man is quite exaggerated, right, Parman? I believe in travelers. Travelers are actually commanders of that world, and their relationship with the ship ladies must be pure comrade relationships. Amber. Parman, don't be bribed by a traveler for just one apple. Cheen. Cough, let's trust the traveler. At least during the process of commanding the battle, the traveler is not only afraid of insufficient firepower, but also very serious. Kafka. The son of Chi Luck Record. Gender. Male, preference. Female. GZ. It seems that there are also quite a few girls on our train. So this son of luck. Ruan Mei. Wait a moment, can't you pay attention to other key points? The son of Chi Yun over there is planning to use something called the Mind Cube to build a ship. This can't be considered an alternative form of creative life. Doctor. If it's such a research, it's still necessary to observe it. Naxida. I'm thinking, can we use this Mind Cube to build ships? Can travelers also use the Mind Cube to create other lives? Zhongli. I can't rule out this genius idea, but at least for now, we can only see how the traveler intends to operate. March 7th. I'm also curious. If we really have a Mind Cube and can anthropomorphize transportation, what will our train look like after anthropomorphization? Will it be as cute as Pam? Pam. In the video of Tianmu, the ship maidens also returned to the port area and placed several blue mental cubes in Kong's hands. After taking over the Mind Cube, Kong immediately started preparing for the shipbuilding work. Belfast comforted, it's really hard for you, Commander, because only you can use the Mind Cube to create ships, so we can only ask you to do this. To build a real ship, one needs to rely on history and emotions, as well as the ship itself. As creations of war weapons, we cannot build ships like you, Commander. It's okay, this is already my job. And I also know that although you all remember the history of World War II in the past, you are not very willing to mention it, so let me do it. Kong also revealed a familiar smile and ordered. Let Akashi prepare the supplies and prepare the ship for large-scale construction, and drive her to the port. If you want to see Daejian's wife, you can do it at will. After all, there have been no new sisters added to the port area for some time. Okay. In the port area, the commander's orders are also unmatched. As a material manager, Akashi, although looking at Kong having to move so many supplies from his side, is also very eager to take advantage of this opportunity to extort Kong Ibi. However, he still obediently handed over all the supplies. Soon, a real steel ship also ceased broadcasting on the sea surface. That is a large ship that is over 270 meters long and 33 meters wide. These are all pre-prepared ship models, waiting for the commander to place the Mind Cube and add new combat power to the port area. Beside the harbor at night, just like curious babies, there are many warship mothers standing nearby, watching the birth of new sisters quietly. And Kong also quickly walked to the deck of the steel ship, holding the Mind Cube in his own hand and touching the deck of the ship, pondering. Belonging to the White Eagle, the second Iowa-class battleship. Flagships of the 3rd and 5th Fleet. Garden. New Jersey. Construction completed. P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 7. Isn't shipbuilding the same as building people? You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the commander's command, the mental cube in his hand also integrated into the deck of the ship. Like a drop of water fused in. The next second, the dazzling light also enveloped the entire steel giant ship. The ship ladies who were watching a play on the beach not far away, some experienced ones also silently put on their sunglasses. Some ship maidens widened their eyes and looked at the next ship maiden to appear, wondering if they would become a formidable opponent in their harbor area vying for a commander. Waiting for the dazzling light to end, a dazzling young girl also walked out of the deck of a steel giant ship. Looking at the commander in front of her, the girl shook her headdress and smiled. I am the White Eagle battleship, the largest and strongest black dragon. The New Jersey. Hello, Commander. You are the first person to board this ship. As he spoke, New Jersey also gave a confident smile to the air. Looking at the cheerful ship maidens, the ship maidens watching the play on the harbor side all showed signs of vigilance. After all, the more outgoing and proactive the ship mother is when facing the commander, the more likely she is to take the initiative to attack their commander. However, these things were completely disregarded by Kong, and he just shook hands with New Jersey. Welcome to the port area, New Jersey. Next, put away the main body of the ship. Okay. So, New Jersey also casually collected the giant ship with a displacement of over 50,000 tons. Subsequently, he followed the empty space and returned to the port area. Watching the entire process of the commander creating the ship mother over there, discussions quickly began within the barrage zones of the two worlds. Is this one of the tasks that the ship's commander is doing over there? In addition to commanding the ship's battles, he also has to be responsible for shipbuilding. I thought this shipbuilding was a verb. What do you mean? After all, you think, creating a person is a verb, right? And it still requires a fixed one man and one woman. On Mr. Kong's side, the ship is also a woman, and the commander is the only man in the port area, so it's reasonable to say that he is the only person who can build ships. Hiss. Mr. Albert, I just don't think you should go to Mon's church in the future. I think if you go there, you will definitely be beaten to death. Don't mention the ordinary people in the barrage area. Even in an extraordinary chat room, there is a certain blonde girl who is jealous. Abyss. Ingmei. Woo-woo, why did the ship girls over there have such high trust in the bastard brother at the moment they just built it? This is unfair. Topa. Maybe because the commander was the first person to board the ship, which had a special purpose for the ship ladies themselves. Parman. Although I believe the travelers have maintained a pure comrade relationship with these ship maidens, to be honest, the travelers on the other side of the ship maiden world may have a great relationship with women. Fireworks. Maybe every time the lights go dark, that commander will always do some happy things with those ship women. Ying. Sobbing. It's unfair. Why am I here as the Royal Highness Princess of the Abyss? There are only furry Abyss Mage and some Abyss Chanters who can only turn into gyroscopes. Yuan Shang. Your Highness, if you feel it's not suitable, why don't I create a woman's appearance for myself? How about that? Abyss. Ingmei. You crawl. Ingmei also expressed deep envy, jealousy, and hatred towards her own brother's terrifying feminine fate. Ruan Mei. Cough, let's talk about some serious topics. It's better to say that the way we create the ship mother is really worth studying in my opinion. I don't know if our space station can develop something like a mental cube in the future. Blonia Silver Wolf. Study hard and find out that I will definitely not go in as a thief this time. Ray Movie. If that's the case, can we create a replica like our sister? Eightfold Divine Sun. General, what do you mean is that you can use this mental Rubik's Cube to create the ship mother? To resurrect the dead. Naxida. From a data calculation perspective, it is very likely that the ship mother over there has also said that in order to create a new ship mother using the mind cube, not only does it require a ship itself, but also the creator to invest enough historical memory and emotions in it to create it. Neville Wright. With over 600 different ship maidens, do we remember the history of them? I'm starting to admire Mr. Traveler. Kyuki Ninja. Wait, I suddenly thought of something very terrifying. If the body of the ship mother is a giant ship with a weight of over 10,000 tons, then the weight of the ship mother itself is probably also over 10,000 tons. Even if you casually wave a punch, it will reach an impact force of over 100 tons. Hua Hua. So, the girls who look so cute are actually all powerful monsters with immense power. What a terrifying feeling. Noel. I just saw a destroyer trying to raise it in the air, which means Dialect. The single arm force that travelers can reach is probably over 1,000 tons. Mirror flow. What a terrifying power. Amber. Traveler, please honestly explain whether you can still unleash the power of your past life. P.S. Every day at 10 o'clock, old authors are asking for flowers, evaluation tickets, comments, monthly tickets, and rewards. The first day is really important. Thank you all, Yenzu. Chapter 8. The former kingdom of Liyue equals Donghuang. You are listening at novel full.audio. The traveler remained silent about whether he could unleash the power he had in his past life. It should be said that a few minutes ago, I couldn't do it myself, but since the inventory live broadcast started, that's not necessarily the case. Although during the inventory live broadcast, it seems that only the traveler has completed the world where he was injured. If Kong can obtain the power from his previous life, then this feedback is still acceptable. In the sky, the playback continues. After creating a new ship mother, Kong quickly continued to devote himself to work. Beside the beach, the ship mother soaking in the sea also sighed. The commander is really a complete workaholic. When can you spare more time to accompany us? I don't know, maybe it's time for peace to be restored on the sea. After all, the commander had already made a promise to us at that time. With these words, several ship maidens on the sea also played with the rings on their fingers, and then continued to play in the sea. As for emptiness, he first returned to the office and replied to his secretary Ship Belfast. Today's work has come to an end. You should also go back and rest, while letting the royal family learn their culinary skills from Donghuang. Good commander, but in addition to adding new sisters in the port area, there are still some mental Rubik's Cube left. How does the commander plan to deal with it and send it to Mingxia? No need, if you need to retrieve supplies from Mingxia, I'll probably have to deal with her for a while. As for the remaining mind cube, I'll take it and transform it for the ships in Donghuang. There are not many warships in Donghuang, so let's try our best to make up for it in terms of quality. The commander really leans towards Donghuang, and both Beifa and the royal maids are a bit envious. But who would let the commander come from Donghuang? As he joked, Belfast elegantly lifted his skirt and gave Kong a lady's maid salute. He then sent Kong all the way to the camp in Donghuang. Due to space constraints and joint defense, most ship owners usually live on a large base, but there are still simple zones between different factions. Ship women from different regions stay in the same camp. If there is no commander to suppress them, they will definitely start fighting. In the sky, while reaching the port area of the Donghuang camp, the air arrived. There are also very eye-catching subtitles appearing in the sky. The previous exposure system has also started to operate again. The Kingdom of Intertwined Destiny has emerged, Blue Harbor District Camp. Donghuang. Present world. One of the 7 kingdoms of the Tivat continent, Liyue. In the Donghuang camp, there will be ship maidens who are bound by the Teva land. The appearance of this subtitle also instantly ignited all the silence in the barrage area and chat room. After seeing this news, people from Tivat continent, especially those from Liyue, couldn't help but widen their eyes. What? Liyue's former kingdom was Donghuang. Based on the previous footage, the ship girls are also divided into their own camps. The most powerful ones should be the ship girls from the White Eagle district and the Donghuang district. It seems that there aren't many ship girls. This doesn't quite conform to our identity as a strong country like Liyue. Could it be the Donghuang of the Blue World? What's different about it? I think at least when it comes to cooking delicious food, that's definitely right. Wait a moment, I remember the ship lady over there said, their commander was originally from Donghuang. If we put it in this world, doesn't that mean the son of Qi Yun is from Liyue? That's not necessarily true, but we can't rule out this possibility. In the extraordinary chat room, there are also people who can't sit still and stand up to express their ideas. Zhongli. I didn't expect that the first person to appear in this past life exposure sky was actually our country, Liyue. Wendy. It's not just about the old man. As mentioned above, in the Donghuang camp, there will also be ship maidens related to Tiva land, Ningguang. This doesn't mean that some of us were ship maidens in the Donghuang camp in our past lives. Coral Palace Heart Sea. I think this possibility is also very high, right? Pella. According to this logic, there should also be people in our world who are related to the past life of the son of Qi Yun. March 7th. It's very likely. Parman. Traveler, I remember you said you were an extraterrestrial person. Now it seems that you are not entirely an extraterrestrial person either. Abyss. Ingmei. My older brother is not a pure extraterrestrial person, nor is he a Liyue person. He is the Prince of Caria. Yuan Shang. Your Highness. You have made a mistake. Kelly. Brother Traveler is so amazing. Besides being the son of luck, he is actually a prince. Fisher, isn't fate itself chaotic and disorderly? Ganyu. However, what exactly is the similarity between Donghuang in the past life and our Liyue, referring to the aspect of Liyue? Black Swan. The bond of the past life, the destined person of the present life, don't you think this topic is very interesting? Fu Xian. I can't figure it out. Anyway, I can't figure it out. The topic of fate is too complicated. And when people in the chat room make various guesses. In front of the empty eyes, a destroyer woman also rushed towards the empty space and jumped into its embrace. Commander, hold on, you're not allowed to stay overnight in Sister Ishian's room tonight. Chapter 9 Kafka. The son of Qi Luck suspected of Loli. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cough cough, don't talk nonsense. I slept in your sister Ishian's room in the middle of the night to study what kind of ship's intimate modification you had. Changchun is good. As he spoke, Kong also touched Changchun's hair in his arms. The ship's mother, who threw herself into her empty arms, looked particularly cute. She was wrapped in a small cotton jacket in the shape of a white tiger and a cotton jacket over a cat's ear, giving her a very ancient and quirky appearance. However, as a commander who is already very familiar with these ship women, the air is really too familiar with them. While holding Changchun and letting her act coquettishly in her arms, she casually touched the pocket of Changchun's cotton jacket. Then he took out 2 firecrackers. It is obvious that this little girl just wanted to use a warm embrace to slightly ignite the firecrackers on her body and scare the commander. The entertainment style of the ship women is so fierce, even if they receive bullets on their faces, they won't be in trouble. Being hit by firecrackers can only be considered entertainment and pranks. Subsequently, the gentle embrace between the 2 hands turned into one hand lifting the back collar of Changchun. As if grabbing a cat, he lifted Changchun up and said, "Changchun, if you want to play a prank on me, isn't it a bit naive? If you don't behave well again, I'll throw you into the confinement room." Commander, I was wrong. Don't lock me up. Faced with the air, it was easy to see through one's own conspiracy, and Changchun quickly issued a plea for mercy. And began to fake a few tearful eyes, looking pitifully into the air. I hope the commander can let her go this time, however, the emptiness is naturally treated as completely invisible. Holding the back collar of Changchun in one hand, grabbing it like a cat, walking towards the direction of Donghuang Port District. There seemed to be several ship maidens climbing to watch the play on the adjacent attic, but they seemed to be completely familiar with the scene. In the subtitles of the sky curtain, another clear warning tone quickly rang out. The person who was bound by past life has appeared, Destroyer. Changchun. Contemporary. Mon Spark Night Koli. Voice actor meme. Although a few minutes ago, this past life exposure system had already warned people from both worlds in advance. But now seeing the person who was bound by the past life actually appear, the chat room and barrage area suddenly became hot. The Spark Knight of Koli Mond. Ah, I think at least in terms of cuteness, there seems to be no problem at all. The commander over there is also grabbing Kelly to the detention room. It turns out that since then, she has been a regular user of the detention room. Kelly. Hey. Why is it Kelly? Is Kelly so lucky? Kelly also didn't expect to eat melons and watch live broadcasts in the confinement room. The first thing I ate while eating melons was actually on my own head. Is this the added protection of strong luck? However, because she vaguely felt the arrangement of fate in the dark, Corey felt that the previous life exposure system should not be talking nonsense. Regarding this, Kelly, who was in the confinement room, quickly sat up straight and prepared to observe how much interaction her past life would have with the commander, who was also a traveler in this life. And similarly, people in extraordinary chat rooms are also particularly interested in this news. Chin. This destroyer named Changchun seems to be a troublemaker too. That seems reasonable. Lisa. Hahaha, it turns out that Kelly Xiaocute has already been a troublemaker in her past life. It seems that this can be considered a change of nature. Ningguang. The only unreasonable thing is that Donghuang, which belongs to our previous kingdom of Liyue, how did the appearance of the ship mother have a connection with Mond in this present world? Chongyun. Starting from today, Flash Mond returns to Liyue. Wendy. Afraid of Ing, Bennett. No wonder Cole never fears being bombed, not because of luck, but because in her past life as a ship mother, this bomb couldn't hurt her at all. Ningguang. I just don't know, who will be the next ship mother who is bound to us. Su Shang. But have you seen that the commander can lift a destroyer weighing thousands of tons with just one hand? The strength of the son of Qi Yun is indeed not to be underestimated. Yukong. What strange focuses are you paying attention to? GZ. Speaking of which, why do even the destroyer children, who are from Changchun, have rings on their fingers? Has this commander really done something that shouldn't have been done? Kafka. Weakness one of the son of Qi Luck. Suspected of being controlled by Loli, also very interested in little Loli. Parman. That's equipment, that's equipment. It's reasonable for the ship mother to have some strange equipment on her body. Amber. Travelers are really smart. As soon as they arrived in Mon City, they immediately started using food to bribe Pemin. Empty. No, I just had a walk with Pemin and now we just want to eat something. Funina. It seems that the traveler has already arrived at the first country on the Tivat continent. Can this be considered as a double-line advance with the Sky Curtain? Chapter 10. Condensing Light. Broken, eating melon eats yourself. You are listening at novel full.audio. Not to mention that the travelers have already arrived in the city of Mond. In the sky, Kong also carried Changchun's collar and arrived at the Donghuang garrison all the way. In the mansion, a young girl wearing a qipao was also handling some office affairs until Kong walked in and finally put down the copy in her hand. After taking another look at Changchun, who was being carried empty-handed, he smiled and said, "Commander, has Changchun's sister been causing trouble for you again?" "Yeah, the guy who can't learn well every day." After laughing for a moment, Kong also placed Changchun on a chair and then flicked her smooth head as a punishment. Changchun also pouted and stared blankly, then pouted and said, "Sister Xian, the commander has finally returned to the Donghuang garrison this time. So tonight, you can't steal the commander." Wearing a qipao and looking full of talent and feminine qualities, Xian smiled and said, "This has nothing to do with me. How to choose then depends on the commander's thoughts, isn't it? Subordinates are not allowed to kiss the commander." Hello. Seeing how well these sisters are feeling, I can't get in touch with them. Why do these ship women have a habit of teasing commanders on weekdays? It's really troublesome. At the same time, on the side of the canopy, eye-catching subtitles are once again ringing. The person who was bound by past life has appeared, Donghuang Battalion Flagship. Yixin, Real People. Liyue 7 stars. Tianquan stars. Ningguang, dubbing voice actor Meme X2, upon seeing such news, the barrage area also exploded again. I'll go, I didn't expect that the person exposed this time would still be Lord Ningguang. By the way, what does flagship mean? A flagship is the person who leads a fleet. That's also in line with Lord Ningguang's body movements. She's the leader of our Liyue. Moreover, Lord Ningguang's clothes are also qipao, but he doesn't like to use paper fans for decoration. Perhaps it's because if Lord Ningguang is traveling now, someone is holding an umbrella for her. Not only did the barrage area explode. Even the previously lazy sitting condensation was brushed off and stood up directly. I really didn't expect that she would also become the next person to eat her own person. So, what is the relationship between one's past life and a traveler? Is it really just a pure comrade relationship? Although Pai Meng has been emphasizing in the chat group since he was bribed by someone, the relationship between the commander and the ship women is a very pure comrade relationship. However, looking at the way almost every ship's mother wore rings on her fingers, she couldn't believe that the relationship between the commander and the ship's mother was pure comrade in arms. What kind of RPG game is this? Equipping rings has attribute enhancements and so on. And, what does it mean to not compete with other ship women in the port area for the commander tonight? No matter how you think, it will make people think crooked. After realizing this, I was very concerned about the condensed light of my past identity and began to focus on the playback content in the sky. In the sky, the playback continues. Dealing with work is also a destroyer that is not suitable for children. Changchun yawned and left. Yixin also sat next to the commander and smiled. Commander, I heard that the reason you came back is to renovate and upgrade our ship mother in Donghuang. Commander, is there anything wrong with this? After all, for a long time, due to insufficient combat effectiveness, our Donghuang camp has been responsible for logistic support in the alliance. And if you take care of us like this, will it make the other camp's ship girls a bit biased? Kong shook his head and said, what's wrong? As a commander, at least I still have this power. If they are not satisfied with anything, then I might as well spend more leisure time with them. Moreover, regarding your renovation plan, I am the most thoughtful. After completing the renovation for you, won't you also have stronger combat effectiveness? Upon hearing these words, Yixin had no choice but to gently shake his head and say, okay, the commander is the master of the port area. But if they all need to be renovated, why don't you conduct an experiment on me first, Commander? Can you do it? Kong worried for a moment and said. In your past memories, there is a shadow that cannot be buried. Using the mind cube to break through oneself is not only a breakthrough in equipment and ship equipment, but also a breakthrough in mind and ability. This means that you must find a way to cross the past you have experienced. Being sunk by Japanese planes. I have a plan to modify you, but I don't recommend you coming first. It would be safer to have Changchun and the others come first. As for the commander's concern, Yixin slipped out a gentle smile and leaned over, grabbing Kong's arm and gently stroking him. Don't worry, Commander, Yixin, you are mentally prepared. After all, with the commander's company, even if it's a real hell, there won't be any danger.